Coming up next, high school volleyball on your sports leader in Lorain, WLCS TV 20.
Good evening. Welcome to volleyball, Lorain High style. That was the Elyria Catholic Panthers with the first serve of the night and a winner to go up 1-0. Serving for EC, number 12, Natalie Ristic. Chloe Karpinski, Ari Washington, and then Sydney Patterson unable to get the ball over the net for the Titans. Yeah. Van Horn on the dig, sent across by Jalissa Williams. Set from behind, number 10 for EC, Julia Allegretto with the hit, and it's 3-zip. The Titans have Patterson, Washington, and number 9, Talia Harris up front. That was Emily Van Horn. Sydney Patterson got the set from Washington. Sent up. Back set blocked by the Titans. Sent back with one over by Garapic, but out. Titans on the board at 3-1.
This game, Jay, originally scheduled for EC, but they've been out because they don't have air conditioning, so they moved it to Lorain.
For Lorain, Chloe Karpinski goes out as she comes to the front row. Janae Harrison will play her front. Ari Washington with the serve. Set. Garapic in for the kill. 4-1 EC. And to the service line for EC, number 10, Julia Allegretto. EC starts with Lucy Kistner, 6, 7, Julia Croth, 8, Grace Schuckman is the libero, 10, Allegretto, 12, Natalie Ristic, and 13, Emily Garapic. Van Horn, Washington, Patterson, nope, 5-1. Titans at 1-4 on the young season. There's an ace, and it's 6-1 on the ace. Harrison bumps it up, sent over by Washington. Over and deep, set. Dink. Nice dig there by Washington. Now somebody else will have to set. It was Harris. Ball into the net, and EC unable to play it off the net. Ristic was down there for it, but couldn't get to it. Number 9 for the Titans is Talia Harris, serving at 2-6.
See if we can hold serve here.
If you don't string them together, you can't come from behind. Harry
right.
Washington sends it deep. Ristic blocked and in. Nice block there between Harrison and Patterson, and it's 6-3. Titans on the court have Talia Harris, a junior. Emily Van Horn, number 4, is a senior. Sydney Patterson is a senior. Ari Washington, the setter, is a sophomore as that one goes out of play, and it's 7-3. 13, Emily Garapic will serve. Janae Harrison, number 11, is a sophomore. And number 1, Jalissa Williams, is a sophomore. Garapic sends it over, dug up, set, too close to the net, comes back on a dink. So 8-3 EC. Garapic again. Knuckles one over, Harris up, Washington, Patterson from deep. Ristic. Near side down with it is Croth, and it's 9-3. Emily Van Horn, Ari Washington, and Patterson. Christic digs it up, back row set, and then blocked. But over, and the Titans will have to play it with a bump. Ristic, and then unable to connect was Grace Schuckman. And it goes over to the Titans at 9-4. Sydney Patterson, number 10, serving. Patterson into the net, makes it 10-4. Van Horn quickly back for her to play the back row. Washington, and then back to Harris to send it over. Set. That one nicely saved. Up by Harris, and then bad communication causes a miscue, and it's 11-4. On the service line for EC, number 3, Maya Halliburton. 5'3" setter into the lineup. She's a junior. Line drive serve dug by Van Horn. Washington with the bump set back row from Talia Harris. Set and then sent over by Schuckman. Washington, Harrison. Set, bumped up. Harrison digs it up. Washington goes to get, but has a problem with the pass and unable to handle it. And it is 12-4 EC. Jersey Fisk into the Titan lineup now, and she gets the set and whacks it into the top of the net, and it's 13-4. Timeout, Lorain. Coach Jackson looking for some combination on this young season that can get the Titans to stringing some things together, Joe. But we'll step away and back with more after this timeout.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Williams. I'm 16 years old and in 11th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying sports health and fitness through Lorain High's Career Tech Education program. I've been playing sports since the 7th grade, volleyball to be specific. I know I can't play forever, but I can still be part of it if I become a physical therapist or athletic trainer. The sports health and fitness classes at Lorain High are giving me an idea of what I'd be doing in the field. I tell all the athletes to take Dury's sports health and fitness class because he knows what he's talking about. He's an athletic trainer. I'm learning how to prevent injuries by doing stuff like taping. That's why I'm also interested in physical therapy. Physical therapy helps get people back to playing. I've learned that the rehab part of physical therapy is more structured and that as an athletic trainer, I would always be at games and practices. I know what I want to do, and it's all thanks to Lorain High Sports Health and Fitness Career Tech program.
Halliburton to serve for her 4th time. Into the middle, Ari Washington from Williams, and then sent over and down by Harris. So whatever was said worked for the moment. Chloe Karpinski, number 7, a freshman, into the lineup, replacing Harrison in the back row, and Karpinski will serve. Bumped up in the back by Allegretto. 2 hands over. Harris, Washington, Williams off the block and down. Julissa Williams with a kill, and it's 13-6. Karpinski again. That was the libero Kinser. Off the top of the block, Washington plays it up. Van Horn, and then sent over by Harris. Set into the net.
Wait, Jay, it's 3 in a row off timeout.
13-7. Whatever was said worked.
Yeah.
Along with the serving of Chloe Karpinski. Nice up there by Allegretto, and she's going to have to bump it over to Leah Harris. Ari Washington. Fisk sends one deep. So the Titans end that run. And it'll go over to EC. And this is number 8, Grace Schuckman. Van Horn, Washington, Williams tosses it down the line for a point. There's where the rules of volleyball have become a little bit more liberal, Joe. 25 years ago, that would not have been legal.
That's right.
Julissa Williams with an ace as Allegretto unable to keep it in play. Titans creep to within 5. This is the closest they've been since 6. Well, they had it at 6-3, but then it quickly went to 9-3. Deep serve. Set. Nope. There's an into the net violation on the setter, number 3, Halliburton, and it's 14-10. Williams. Bumped up. They're going to get another free ball. Oh, and the lack of communication there.
Yeah.
Costs the Titans an easy one.
Yeah, it's been a problem tonight. That's at least the third time.
Well, right back at you as the service error puts the Titans back on with Emily Van Horn. Patterson in for Fisk. Van Horn with the good serve to the ground, it played, and it's going to be bumped over. Patterson up. Washington set. Patterson for the hit. Whistle. Into the net. Number 13, Garapik, into the net, and it's the Titans have closed to within 3, 15-12. Emily Van Horn. Good serve there, sent over. Nice dig by Karpinski. Then she'll bump it over, but they live to see another day. Set, middle set. Garapik puts it in for a kill. 16-12. EC. Now the Titans are in this one as we go around the second time. Number 12 for EC. Natalie Ristic to serve. Williams, Van Horn. Washington's going to have to bump it over, and she does. Ristic, dink up by Karpinski. Washington, one hand over but wide from Harris. I would say that Lorain can't waste any more, Joe.
That's right, yep.
Ristic, Williams, Washington, going to be a back row hit from Van Horn. Block.
Nice block.
Yep. Croth went up and it came right back, and it goes to 17-13. And number 2, Ariana Washington, sophomore setter, will put it in play for the Titans. Karpinski had a good rotation that time as she gets a break. Ristic sets, thrown over. Harrison back in the game. Washington bunts it up, and Van Horn sends it over. Garapik off the block and down, and it's 18-13. And to the service line, Julia Allegretto. Williams, Washington. It's going to be Harrison gets it across. Up, over the block. Up, dug by Harris. Washington back set. Harrison had the angle, but just too strong. 19-13 EC. Williams, Washington. Harrison. Nice dig there. Ristic. Cross court. That was Schuckman that put it down. Deep ball played. Ristic. Up from Harrison, but on the net. Patterson able to finger it across. Up from Williams. Washington. Back row attack from Julissa Williams is wide.
Oh, nice volley.
That was the prolonged rally that we wouldn't even have seen 10 days ago, Joe.
Yes.
Van Horn with a nice dig. Washington with an up, and it's going to come across on a bump. Down. Schuckman puts it down, and it's 21-13. So EC answers after Lorain closed to 15-12. It's a 6-1 run here, and they're still serving. Van Horn down balls it into a hole. Nice shot. Schuckman over, up by Harris. Patterson unable to get square to it, and it's 22-13 EC. Julia Allegretto into the net, and it's 22-14. Talia Harris to the line for Lorain. No more errors. Harris puts it over and deep into, and then on the errant pass, and nobody played that. I'm a little bit bumfuddled by that one. 22-15. It'll be Harris again. Good deep serve. Fisted across. Williams, Washington, back row hit to Van Horn. Wrist stick and then dug by Harris and put down by Garapik. (23) serving 15. And it'll be Emily Garapik on the service line trying to close it out with a couple for EC. Sent deep, dug up by Harris. Washington and then Williams with the bumps, short, set, sent over, up from Patterson. Van Horn, bump set, Williams sends it across. Down, that was a nice hit from Grace Schuckman. And EC is Dormy at 24-15 with 8 game points. Harris, that was Harrison. Set. Schuckman off the block. Van Horn up. Washington set into the middle. Harris. Nice dig there on the good hit by Caitlin Porter. Up. Good rally here. Schuckman cross up by Harris. Williams. Washington sends it over with one. Ristic. Washington. Harrison sends it across with two on a shoot. Ristic. Set by Krauth. And in for the game winner. Good rally.
Sure was.
Titans, after closing to 15-12, Joe, EC goes on a 10-3 run to finish game one. And we'll be back with more volleyball after this timeout.
From providing care,
I served in the United States Army Nurse Corps,
to serving near the front lines.
I was the first woman ever to deploy on a Strategic Air Command deployment.
Military women have served in many roles while paving the way for others.
I lobbied for women to be on board submarines.
The veterans' benefits you earned honor that service and can help with challenges you face on the home front. From job training to disability compensation to buying a home with a VA guaranteed home loan.
I'll be able to change my career and make more money and provide a better life for my family.
Find out more about your eligibility, including how to apply online using e-benefits.
I'm proud to be an Army Reserve veteran. My mission now is to help women with military service learn about their veterans' benefits.
Achieve your next mission. Learn about and apply for your VA benefits today.
Jay Ferguson and Joe Bach back here for volleyball non-conference style. Lorain serving in game two after dropping game one. Number 2, Ariana Washington The sophomore setter will be on the service line. She's joined by 4, the libero, Emily Van Horn. Number 1, Jalissa Williams. Talia Harris, number 9, Sydney Patterson, number 10, and Janae Harrison. And for EC, the first one goes down, and they start 1-0 again. Now on the line for them is Natalie Ristic, the senior setter. Van Horn, I think if she'd have let that go, it would have been long, but she made contact.
Yeah.
Joe, here's something that's always confused me. Why doesn't the coach have someone stationed at the line on the bench?
Right, yeah.
To call them. Harrison off the top of the net and down. Janae Harrison puts the Titans on the board. And Talia Harris, 2-time Lake Erie League Softball Player of the Year and only a junior. Sends it up, sends it deep. And bumped, so it goes over and straight down. And it'll be 3-1 EC as they come back with it. Allegretto will go to the line, number 10. Garapick, number 13, 8 Schuckman. 12 is Ristic. 7 is Croth. Washington, Harrison, cross court, nice dig, but unable to save it, and it'll go over to the Titans. And I missed a player. Number 10, Allegretto I had. There she is, number 8, chasing the ball is Grace Schuckman, daughter of the coach. Sydney Patterson on the line for the Titans, senior. Into the middle, nice serve is going to be a winner as Kinser went down for it and was unable to play it anywhere but into the bleachers, tied at 3.
That's our first tie other than 0-0, Jay.
Yes, it is. Patterson, we're going to be ahead, Joe.
All right.
4-3 Lorain on another service winner from Sydney Patterson. Ball up yet again, floats one over and deep. Kinser, Ristic, and then sent it over by Schuckman, bumped up by Patterson. Washington sends it over her head with 2, up. And Schuckman too long with that hit, and it's 5-3 Lorain. Titans been badly in need of a good start.
Yeah, they got one here.
Kinser bumps it up, Ristic sets it, and Titans are in the net as they tried to block Garapick, and it'll be 5-4 as the serve goes over. And it goes over to number 13, Emily Garapick, 5'10" senior. Off the top of the net for an ace, and we're tied at 5. Another one of those rules that has changed. That would have been a let.
That's right.
20 years ago, and we would have had a redo because it went in. 5-5, but it is what it is. It used to be you had to serve to score. Harrison, Williams, Van Horn, Garapick, Ristic, Schuckman right down the middle. Grace Schuckman with a kill. And it's 6-5 EC. Talia Harris, Fisk, and sent over by Jalissa Williams. Schuckman, Ristic, and then whammed out. Not off the block, okay. That was Caitlin Porter, number 9, and we are tied at 6 as senior libero Emily Van Horn. Oh, I guess she's not. It's going to be Chloe Karpinski who comes in for Harrison in the back row. Now there seems to be a little bit lineup question there from the up umpire to the EC bench. Freshman Chloe Karpinski. Solidly over, Ristic, and then dinked over. Washington up. Karpinski, and then dumped into the net, unable to get it across for the Titans. And it's 7-6 as we get substitution. Number 5 for EC is Madison Thompson, I'm guessing, because she's not on the roster. Number 3, Maya Halliburton. And Halliburton, there is definitely some confusion with the EC lineup as Halliburton gets ready to serve. She sends it into the net, and we're tied at 7. Jalissa Williams. She sends it back but wide, and it's 8-7 EC. Joe, we've got to take advantage when these games get uglied up like this one is. Grace Schuckman sends it into the top of the net, and we're tied at 8, and that's 4 straight service errors.
Right. I mean, if they're going to give us unforced errors, we need to, take full advantage of them.
Emily Van Horn. Bumped up. Halliburton sets. Washington sets. That was Williams setting Washington, excuse me. Cross court and down. Finding a hole was Julia Allegretto. And it's 8 serving 9. So the 6th different server and 6 points.
Wow.
Is number 6, Lucy Kinzer, the libero. Bumped by Harris. Washington and then over. Up. Garapic over and out. So back, and we're tied at 9.
Talk about breaking serve a lot of times, and nobody can keep it here.
The 7th server and 7 points. It's Ariana Washington. Janae Harrison in for Karpinski here. .5'10" middle blocker, Harrison. Washington sends it into the net and will do it again. Croth 7, 12 Ristic back for EC. And Ristic goes to the line. That one's out. We're tied at 10.
Wow. Jay, I can't remember the last time I've seen this many service errors in a row, or
right.
not holding their serve. There's been a couple that's been in play, but nobody's been able to hold the serve.
Harris, Ristic, Garapic sends it over, up from Williams. Washington, Harrison sends it over into the hole, but dug up by block, and off the block and down for EC is number 10, Allegretto, and she's rewarded with a trip to the service line. Van Horn sends it up and over, up from Williams. Washington, Van Horn back row attack into the net.
There we go.
And EC finally scores 2 in a row, and it's 12-10 Elyria Catholic. Top of the net and up from Williams. Washington. Williams bumps it over. Garapic on a bump. Harrison. Washington. Williams cross court up. Van Horn unable to dig that one up, and the kill by Schuckman, and it's 13-10. Joe, we were tied at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 before this 3-point run from EC. Patterson down, and it's 13-11 as that goes over to the Titans.
All right, see if we can hold serve here for a few points.
Senior Sydney Patterson there. Fisk in for Van Horn up front. Dug up, set. Garapic, nice up by Williams, but whistle on the net was number 13, Jersey Fisk. And it goes to 14-11 EC. And for them, senior middle blocker Emily Garapic is on the line. She puts one into the net. The story of this game, Joe, has been serving futility.
Yes.
For the Titans, Chloe Karpinski, number 7, comes in. She'll go to the line. Bumped up. Sent over by Ristic. Up from Harris. Van Horn from the back row. Schuckman digs it up. Ristic put down by Caitlin Porter. And it's 12 serving 15. Or 15 serving 12, rather. I'm sorry. Substitutions back will put Halliburton, number 3, on the line for EC as they rotate out one setter for another. Halliburton into the hole for an ace. Right in front of Van Horn. She was unable to get down there and dig that one. It had a little movement on it. 16-12 EC. Game 2. EC won the first one. Up and over by Karpinski. Passed back. It'll just be fisted over. Fisk. Van Horn. Washington unable to keep it on the court. Timeout Lorain at 17-12. Titans were hanging in there, Joe. And then the wheels have come off a little bit. That's what Coach Jackson wants to fix here. As you get a look at her and her coaching staff, longtime assistant coach in a lot of sports and former head girls basketball coach Cheryl Bancic, Anita Cruz, who was a player when I was at Southview and she was in high school, along with Alicia Neely, who was also on that team, and Serena Rodriguez. Jackson, Neely, and Cruz all played volleyball at Southview in what I would consider to be the golden age of volleyball at Southview, with Sharon Griffith and Coach Kelly and
Gina Kelly.
And they won several LEL titles, and when they didn't win, they finished second.
That's right. Yeah, the big foe at that time was Maple Heights.
Still is in the.
Still is, right.
Halliburton on the line, 17-12. Karpinski up and on the net, tipped over, and then sent back over. Whistle over the net. They're going to call there on Schuckman. And number 1, Jalissa Williams, will go to the line. 13 serving 17. Once again, the Titans need to make a move here at this point, and the serve goes into the net, and
that's not going to help the cause.
Another service error. And as we look back here, I'm going to guess that there have been close to 10 service errors between the two teams.
Oh, at least. Grace
Schuckman deep, and Karpinski has it go off one hand, then the other, and down. And it's 19-13. EC grabbing this one. Karpinski, Washington, down from Talia Harris. 14-19. Now you need Van Horn to string half a dozen or so together. Patterson in for Fisk. Emily's been serving on the varsity for 4 years. She was a specialist her freshman year. Sends it deep and over, up from Allegretto. Halliburton, and then fisted over by Washington, and then sent over by Williams. Halliburton, off the block, but then continuing down. Allegretto gets a kill. and it's 20-14. And senior libero Lucy Kinser will serve. And she puts one into the net. You know, this has been an equal opportunity.
It sure has.
Effort here from both teams. Karpinski out, Harrison in, and Washington to the line. Schuckman up, Halliburton set, and dug up, and then on the net. That was a good save, and Thompson called for on the net, and it'll stick with the Titans at 16-20. Washington. Off the net and down.
Right.
Service winner.
Down to 3, Jay.
Yep. Just have to remember that when you give up the serve, the other team scores, so you can't give it up right now. Washington deep. Saved by Schuckman, Halliburton, Garapik. Van Horn up, Washington set, and she got a double on the set. It did look funny coming off
the
hand. Substitutes for EC, Ristic back in at setter, and she will go to the service line, and number 7, Krauth, the sophomore, back in at hitter. In, ace. 17-22. Titans decided to take a chance, and it just in, but clearly in. Then she comes back short in front of the back line for an ace. Hits a hole as the top spin ball takes a dive, and at 23-17, down 6, the Titans take time late in game 2, Joe, and it seems like the wheels are spinning off again.
Yeah.
The Titans were tied at 10. And since 10-10, it's been 13-7 EC. And Lorain's had opportunities, just unable to take advantage of them. And in this young season, that seems to be the story that the Titans have faced in many of their matches.
Hey, well, we got a second. If you haven't gotten your Titan football discount card, I think there's still a few of them floating around out there, $10.
I have 40 or 50 of them. So.
I know one of the players said, I sold my 15.
I've got a brick of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, see Jay Ferguson then. They're $10, and you use it twice, and you're going to get your money back. There's a lot of great deals on there, and they're good for a whole year.
Natalie Ristic, senior setter for EC. Up and over, Van Horn. Harrison. Washington has to send it over. Garapik, one-handed up by Washington, but long, and it once again, EC Dormy with a 6-point cushion here. It's 24-17, and Kinser will be serving. She is a sophomore. Over and deep to Harris, Washington, Harrison, and she sends it out. And like the first game, the second game ends with a Titans attacking error.
They had a lot of opportunities. There was a lot of unforced errors and just couldn't do it.
And EC now up 2 at 25-17 to go with the 25-15 first game win.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important. Anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
Game 3 underway here. Ristic puts it in play. Jalissa Williams has it go long off her hand. And EC will start 1-0. Game 3, Titans dropped the first two, 25-15, 25-17. They were in both late and just kind of had things spinning out of control and let EC take control. Harris, and that sends it over the net. Ristic, and then on the back set, down from Kraut, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, Titans definitely had their opportunities in the second set because there was so many unforced errors in that set, but unfortunately just couldn't pull it out.
Van Horn, Washington. Van Horn. Ristic sends it over with two hands. Washington sets off the net from Talia Harris, and it's 3-love. Ristic, Williams, Washington. Patterson with the palm up. EC. Allegretto's hit's going to be a winner. You know, one thing I've noticed, Joe, that Lorain's setter, Ariana Washington, and she plays all the way around. She is running herself ragged trying to get to these passes. Right there was an example of one she couldn't get to, and Williams would send it over deep. Ristic up, set, Allegretto into the net, and the Titans are on the board at 4-1. Karpinski's going to go out now. Harrison comes in as number 2, Ari Washington, will go to the service line. Dug out of there, but out of play, service winner.
All right.
Schuckman went down to get it and just sent it too wide. That one had a little top spin on it and took a dive. 2 serving 4. Ball up, ball into the net, 5-2 as it goes over to EC. And for EC, Julia Allegretto, number 10. Did a lot of damage in the first game on the service line. Williams passes it into the net. No chance for a play there, and it's 6-2. Williams unable to handle that one, and it's 7-2. And excuse me, that wasn't Williams. That was number 8, Amaya Robinson, into the game. Robinson is a senior defensive specialist. Patterson puts it over. It puts it down. Good awareness by Sydney Patterson makes it 7-3. Williams comes back in, and to the back row to serve is number 9, junior Talia Harris. She sends it over. Bumped up, Ristic, Garapik, cross court. Washington with good anticipation. Van Horn, that was a good pass. And then Harrison didn't have her steps right. Bumped over and down by Kinser. The libero just fisted it over, and down it went into the hole. And what's she going to get to serve? Garapik out, and number 9, Caitlin Porter, in for EC. Williams up, Washington, Patterson down for a kill. Now we need more of that.
Right. And we need to string
it started, you know what it started with? It started with a good pass. Washington wasn't running around like her hair was on fire that time. Sydney Patterson, senior, on the line. over and short, and that's going to be a winner. Schuckman didn't move her feet that time, and it came up short. Patterson in front of her, in front of Allegretto that time. Kinser, and then put down by Caitlin Porter, and it's 9-5. Halliburton comes in to serve, and also into the lineup, Allison Pavlis, 10th grade outside hitter. She's in for the first time, number 14. This is how you get your younger players some action when you're up 2-0 and 9-5 in the third. Halliburton serves it into the net, and it's 9-6. Karpinski in for Harrison, and she'll go to the service line for Lorain. Chloe is a 5'5" setter and a freshman. Mostly tonight, she's a back row specialist. She puts it down the line for an ace, and I think if you got her in an honest moment, she'd say it came off the side of her hand.
Yeah.
You can tell by the sound.
We'll take it.
Yep. 7-9, game 3. Titans trail 2-0. Allegretto up. Halliburton. Kinser from the back. Washington, and then Talia Harris. Got it on the way down, and it hit the net. 10-7 EC. Grace Schuckman on the line. In front of Talia Harris, and there's a misplay by the Panthers over the block and then down as it caught one of the younger Panthers by surprise. Jalissa Williams on the line now. Williams, that was almost an air ball, but it went into a good spot, and it's going to come over free. Washington, Van Horn, and then Williams into the net. This is about the point in the game, each game, Joe, where the Titans have had issues. Williams out now, and number 8, Amaya Robinson, into the lineup for Lorain. Karpinski, Washington, and then over by Harris. Up from Halliburton, Pavlis, but we're going to get the Titans for in the net. Number 9, Talia Harris, and it's 12-8. Washington, Fisk, Halliburton, Pavlis with the double, and it's 12-9. And senior libero Emily Van Horn. Patterson back for Fisk. Up from Allegretto, bumped over Harris. Washington, Harris, dug by Schuckman, Halliburton, and then setting Allegretto. Duel at the net, controlled by Garapick for EC. And it's 13-9. Krauth, number 7, and Kinser, and 12, Ristic back in the lineup. Van Horn, Washington, Patterson. Patterson puts it down. (13-10). Ari Washington to the line. Sends it deep. Kinser over the net, up from Allegretto, set, and then sent in to back corner. That was one of those wild ones that found a spot, and EC goes up 4 at 14-10. More importantly, they get the serve back. And the most effective server for them tonight has been Julia Allegretto, and she's on the line now. That one's going to be misplayed, mishandled, and it's 15-10. Like so many sports, when you stand and reach, you get in trouble in volleyball. Both teams were guilty of a lot of that in the second game. That's better. Sent over. One-handed up from Patterson. And then no communication, and Fisk and Washington run into one another going after it. Timeout Lorain, 16-10, EC in the third. Back with more after this.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
Back to the service line, Julia Allegretto, number 10 for Elyria Catholic. Junior outside hitter at 5'4". Van Horn, Washington, and then Harris was blocked, and Patterson played it up. Washington sent it deep, and Van Horn plays it over. Block again, dug up the whistle, and Harris on the dig slid under the net.
Yeah.
And the rule isn't, did I bother anybody? The rule is, did I go across the line? And yes, she did. Van Horn, Washington. Patterson bumps it over. Up. Set from, that just tipped over. Schuckman tipped it over. And it's 18-10 EC. Allegretto back to the line. This will be her fifth serve in this run, and she puts it into the net and then over for an ace.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's your night.
Yeah.
$19-10. Washington up from Harrison, and deep. Nice vision there by number 12, Natalie Ristic, and the Panthers have them doubled up at 20-10. Up and deep. Van Horn, Washington. She went flying up and couldn't only reach it with one hand, and it's 21-10. Timeout, Lorain. They're last. But at 21-10, there's nothing to save it for now, Joe.
Yeah.
You know, and we talked about in different points in each of the first two games, Titans being right there and then having the wheels kind of careen off the cart. And this one's no exception. You know, they were right there at 10-8. And since then, it's 11-2. And again, a lot of those are, you know, I hesitate to call them unforced errors. I feel more like they should be addressed as rookie mistakes.
Right.
Just young players.
A lot of it's communication. There's no communication.
And they'll grow together.
Very young team.
Yep.
So
21-10, Allegretto back on the service line. Serve number 8. Over and deep. Washington, Patterson, up, but unable to save it. Kinzer made a good play going to the ground to get it, but the Titans break the spell after 8 serves at 21-11. Jalissa Williams back, replacing Amaya Robinson. Talia Harris on the service line. Whistle, and we're out of order. That's one thing we hadn't done. 22 11 as the whistle blew as the ball was hit. Titans were out of order in the lineup. Now they get, and they were big out of order. Harris, Washington, Patterson. Off the block, straight up. Bumped up, set, over high. Washington with the bump set. Patterson and Harrison off the block. Up from a couple Panthers, then dumped over by Kinzer. Washington, Patterson sends it down into the opening. 22-12. Sydney Patterson for Lorain. Jersey Fisk, number 13, in for Van Horn in the front row. Fisk is a 5'10 sophomore. Patterson sends it into the net. 23-12. Halliburton, number 3, comes in, along with 14, Allison Pavlis for EC. And Halliburton will go to the line looking to finish it out. Over and into the net and blocked there. 23-13, and the Titans with Chloe Karpinski into the lineup. The freshman will step to the line and try to string 10 in a row. Over and deep. Halliburton sets. Send across. Karpinski up. Washington. Williams found a hold. Nicely done, Halliburton, and then just bumped across. Harris. Washington. Williams tips it with the opposite hand. Nicely done. Van Horn. And Washington wisely sent it across and found a hole. (23-14). Allegretto, Halliburton, and then bumped across by Porter. Fisk. That just looked like it had to be a kill, Joe. I mean, if they'd have gotten that one back with my fist, your fist, and then into the middle. 15-23. Allegretto, Halliburton. Up from Schuckman. Williams sends Halliburton. Porter sliced it, and it's 16-23. Well, that's 3 in a row.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
You can't get 7 until you get to 4.
Right.
One hands it over, but off the side of Halliburton's hand, and it's 17-23. Whistle, timeout, EC. As Coach Schuckman with some of the younger players for EC on the court with what she thought was a commanding 23-13 lead in the third game of the match that they lead 2-0. And she just wants to talk about calming down and organization. And I'm sure one of the things that she is saying is you don't have to be spectacular, but you do have to hit it over the net. And EC has been the ones in this little run with unforced errors. Titans quickly back out onto the court. Karpinski with the ball from the line judge. For those of you that have been watching for a few years, you'll notice that the line judges are OHSAA approved and assigned this year. That is something different. Some schools have used them for years and some haven't, but it apparently is mandated now. Karpinski, ace right into the hole.
Wow.
And of course, like most mandates, Joe, it's unfunded.
Yeah.
It's just another $100 a game expense, I would guess. But I think you feel a little bit better when you go on the road and you don't have somebody's parent cheering for him and waving a flag. Karpinski with another ace. 19-23. That's 6 in a row.
Karpinski, a serving machine here.
Don't do it. Ace. She pulled a line that time. This is as animated as we've seen the Titan bench in any game this year, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Timeout, EC.
Yeah, they're trying to break her concentration. That's
right.
7 in a row?
That is 7 in a row. We said she needed 10. She's got 7 of them. And like I said, you can't get to 10 till you get to 7.
That's right.
Titans quickly back out onto the court. I know when my daughter played, Joe, if she was on a streak like this, she wouldn't even go into the huddle. She didn't want anybody to touch her. She didn't want anybody to say anything to her. She would stand off to the side looking away. Line judge hands Karpinski the ball. That's the thing you can do, you know, that'll help you the most is get the ball back in your hand.
Right, right.
And get the feeling back. Both teams on the court now before the timeout runs out. Coach Schuckman with Maya Halliburton some late instruction. They put 4 players back in serve-receive, trying to cover the court. Karpinski down the line, up off the beam, and another ace.
Wow.
Allegretto played that one up, which is something they hadn't been doing, and it went square off a beam and came back faster than it went up. 21 serving 23. Allegretto, Halliburton, Pavlis, up from Harris. Back in and then over by Van Horn. Halliburton, down. That was Porter, number 9, Caitlin Porter. And match point for the Panthers. And it'll be in the form of the coach's daughter, Grace Schuckman. Ball up, ball sent over, up from Karpinski and into the bleachers. Panthers survive game 3, 25-21. So on the night, Joe.
Valiant effort by the ladies.
You know, they were in all 3 games
yes, they were.
The middle. In fact, the game that was the most lopsided was game 3, and it ended up the closest.
Right.
Yes, the Titans trailed in that one 23-12 and battled back to 23-21 with 9 in a row before EC took control with a kill and then an ace late and won the third. So in 3, the Elyria Catholic Panthers defeat the Lorain Lady Titans, and it was 25-15, 25-17, 25-21.
And thanks for coming out, Jay. We had boys soccer canceled because of the heat, and this was rescheduled to Lorain because
they didn't have
East closed.
today.
Right.
And you know what? It's a lot nicer here than it is in the press box at George Daniel when it's on a day like today.
Yep.
So thanks for the phone call.
And we'll be out tomorrow covering the girls.
Girls soccer with Shaw.
Yeah.
Tomorrow evening, and
then I'll be Saturday. I'll be at Elyria High School, and I'll be tapping into radio. But we'll cover another road game for the football team.
And then 5 of the last 8 will be, or 5 of the last 7 will be at home.
I can't wait to see their new facility there too. So
yes,
that'll be something to look forward to. Anyway, thanks for coming on, Jay.
Okay, Joe, for my friend Joe Bach, this is Jay Ferguson reminding you all it is a great time to be a Titan, everyone.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.